The first incident that I wish to talk about is the massacre at Wounded Knee Creek, known as Wounded Knee Massacre, and it occurred on December 29th, 1890, uh, on the Lakota Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota by the U.S. 7th Cavalry. It should be noted, why was the cavalry there? It's interesting. A lot of these massacres have to do with gun control and disarming people, taking away the basic rights of defense and protecting your own property. Here we're on an Indian reservation. They don't have any right, in effect, to defend themselves from armed intruders. And in fact, if you see this paragraph here, on the morning of December 29th, the troops went into the camp to disarm the Lakota. Now, they're in there to disarm them. What was the end result? First of all, there was an alarm sent out to the representatives of the government of the United States, which is the people. These people were out there ghost dancing. They were, in effect, practicing their religion. And that's dangerous. We can't have that. And then they have arms. We got to disarm them. So they sent out their troops. And the result would be the death of 300 Indians. You can see the picture up here. Mass graves. Somehow you always have mass graves, don't you? Nazi Germany. My Lai Massacre. Cambodia, killing fields. But they had them there too in Lakota in 1890. 300 dead people, men, women, and children. And now that brings us to the primary subject I want to talk about. Psychological warfare and how this plays out. Psychological warfare is defined by the U.S. Department of Defense. Down here in this paragraph, the planned use of propaganda and other psychological actions having the primary purpose of influencing the opinions, emotions, attitudes, and behavior of hostile foreign groups in such a way as to support the achievement of national objectives. You notice the word hostile foreign groups. It's a very short line between hostile foreign groups and domestic groups that a political party supremacist group, such as the two political parties and the two-party system we have, to take tax money and have law enforcement and or the United States military, the Homeland Security, to use psychological warfare, psych ops, against citizens of the United States, residents of the United States. These incidents that I'm talking about and will be talking about, Wounded Knee, Japanese internment. Interesting to use the term Japanese internment. 62% of the Japanese Americans that were interned were United States citizens. It's really American or Japanese American internments. They interned American citizens in World War II. The Philadelphia Move organization, whatever they did, it may have been wrong, and it didn't deserve to be bombed from helicopters by law enforcement. That's psychological warfare. Ruby Ridge and Waco, people being killed and executed on the spot. That's psych ops. They're trying to intimidate other people. There was no reason for any one of these incidents. Not one reason to have them to the point of the execution of American citizens. And in the case of the Japanese Americans, those internment camps, in effect, were political prisons. They were taken out of their homes, no trials, no constitutional rights were afforded them, and taken away from their homes to other states, to other areas, and forced to be there duration of the war. Propaganda is used. People, oh, the Main Street media. Why do they do that? Oh, well, that's why they do it. They're part of a propaganda system. They're in with the regime. The regime. It always happens. Where was the press with Stalin? Where was the press with Hitler? Where was the press with Mussolini? Where was the press over in Japan with the emperor? Where's the press over in China? They're always with the people that are in power because that's how they maintain their power. That's why we have the term in the First Amendment of free press. Well, because if you have free press, you don't have propaganda. This psychological warfare, intimidation, propaganda, it goes back all the way. You can look back in the Bible, and that's where it's at too. It's been going on from the start of mankind. And we're supposed to avoid it with the Constitution. And that's where the exceptionalism of America is in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, even the Articles of Confederation we had for about 10 years. That's where we have it. That's the problem. And the psychological warfare used against the citizenry, that's all official misconduct. Taking money and using it for these things. That's official misconduct. And by the way, official misconduct is a felony. It's a crime. All these incidents I'm talking about, not one person went to jail or was even charged and tried for all these mass murders in the psychological warfare. There was a charge for the sniper in the case of Ruby Ridge. Was finally dropped. The charges were dropped. Where's the justice? Where's the upholding of the constitutional rights of the citizens?